What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex, back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The Las Vegas Raiders are set to open the 2024 regular season on the road at SoFi Stadium against a divisional rival in the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, currently the Chargers are 3-point favorites, despite them coming off of a season where they were last in the AFC West division and coming in with a lot of new faces, a whole different regime on offense. But the NFL media still sees the Chargers as a favorite in this one. And although technically the Raiders are on the road, they're essentially going to be at home. So the Raiders, this is a perfect opportunity for them in front of their fans to secure their first victory of the season. And me personally, I think this is going to be huge for the Raiders season. It's week one, I understand, but I kind of see this being a must-win game for the Raiders, just considering the fact that the first month of the season does not look very easy. As week two, you're going to be on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. I see that being a very difficult game to win on the road. So if the Raiders lose this one and they fall to the Ravens week two, then the Raiders will be 0-2. And we all know that statistically, teams that start off the season 0-2 have a much tougher time ultimately making the playoffs. So the Raiders need to avoid that. And I think this is going to be a really good opportunity for the Raiders to come out and be 1-0 in the division. But for the Raiders to do that, they're going to have to take care of certain things. So let's talk about the overall keys to victory, in my opinion, if the Raiders want to come out on top come Sunday. And I think the first key to this game is going to be that the Raiders defense have to find a way to stop the run. Now, the one thing that I noticed with the Raiders defense in the preseason was this, that they struggled stopping the run. I really hope that was just in the preseason. To be fair, in the preseason, Patrick Graham and just NFL teams in general, they run a lot of vanilla. They're really not diving deep into the playbook. They don't want to show too much. I hope that's what it was, and I hope this is not a trend that we will see in the regular season. And especially here in week one, if the Raiders defensive line is not good against the run, then it's going to be very difficult for us to win this game. And the one thing you can count on in this game is the fact that Jim Harbaugh, the Los Angeles Chargers, are going to emphasize and prioritize the run. There's a reason why Harbaugh hired offensive coordinator Greg Roman. They got two veteran running backs. They drafted a tackle in the first round. And just you look at Jim Harbaugh's history as an offensive mind in the NFL and in college, this just really shows how much he values and prioritizes the run. If we look at his stint with the San Francisco 49ers from 2011 to 2014, he totaled 12,270 passing yards over 4 seasons, which ranked 30th in the NFL, while his rushing offense, though, ranked second in yards per game, approximately 139.6 yards over that span. And that trend was also very similar at the University of Michigan. Last year, he finally secured the national championship, and their star running back, Blake Corum, led the NCAA in rushing touchdowns with 27. So there's no doubt that Harbaugh is going to want to establish the run. They're going to try to dominate us up front, and the Raiders defensive line have to be ready for this. The interior of this defense needs to win that matchup. We need to stop the run. We need to get this team in third in long situations. That's really where, if we can do that, the Raiders should thrive, with Max Crosby off of the edge, with Malcolm Koonce off the other, Christian Wilkins up the middle. If we can do that, I feel confident in our ability to be able to get pressure on Justin Herbert and hopefully force him into bad plays, potentially get some turnovers. So that's really the main thing the Raiders need to watch out for. They need to be able to stop this run. Now, my second key point for the Raiders is going to be the same type of scenario, but for us on offense, we need to find a way to establish the run. Now, it's not quite the same with the Chargers. I think Harbaugh really wants to dominate up front, dominating the run game. The Raiders don't necessarily need to dominate. I don't necessarily think Zamir White has to rush for over 100 yards, but there's no doubt that the Raiders are going to have to be able to establish the run game, run an overall balanced offense that will give Gardner Minshew the opportunity to thrive in the play action game and to potentially hit them deep. And if we can do that, keep an eye out on Trey Tucker in this game. Gardner Minshew and Trey Tucker had a nice little connection in the preseason, and I hope that can continue. And Trey Tucker's best performance last season was against the Chargers, and you just saw how when he was able to get those big plays, those big touchdowns, it opened everything for this offense. We were able to run the football. We were able to exploit the Chargers with Davante Adams across the middle. So I hope we can do that here. And one thing with Luke Getsy is, as an offensive coordinator with the Chicago Bears, he also showed his ability to be able to dominate the ground game. And last season in 2023, Getsy led an offense that ranked second in the NFL in rushing attempts, rushing yards, and rushing yards per game. And in his first season with the Bears as the offensive coordinator in 2022, he led their offense to a franchise record over 3,000 total rushing yards and a league best averaging 177 yards per game. Now, one big caveat to that though that I do have to mention is the fact that he had Justin Fields, who was a run-first quarterback, who was a scrambling quarterback. The Raiders don't necessarily have that with Gardner Minshew. He can run, he can use his legs, but he's definitely not a Justin Fields type of quarterback. But regardless, like I said, I don't necessarily think the Raiders have to completely dominate the run game. Obviously, if they could, that's awesome. But as long as the Raiders can get anywhere between, I want to say 70 to 90 yards or so, that should be fine. That should be able to open up things for this offense. And the last key that I think that I'm looking for in this game, I'm going to stay on the offensive side of the football, and I'm going to look at our quarterback, Gardner Minshew. I'm going to say he's a big key in this game because he is the biggest wild card for this offense. With the Chargers, look, at the very least, they know what they have in Justin Herbert. You know he's a starting level caliber quarterback. He's going to make plays for them, and he's going to put them in the best position possible to win. Now with Gardner Minshew though, it's going to be his first start in the silver and black, a new offense. I would assume he doesn't have great chemistry and timing with Davante Adams just yet, just because they have zero in-game reps. And ultimately, his play style throughout the NFL has just shown that he's a wild card. Some games he can look fantastic for you. Some games he can lead the offense, make big chunk plays, and look like a legit starting caliber quarterback. While there's been other games where he struggles. He's a little bit inconsistent with his throwing accuracy, with his overall decision making. And really, I think we're going to have a solid, clean game from Gardner Minshew in order to win this one. We can't afford for him in this game to turn the ball over. And really, I think the Chargers are going to do their best to make him as uncomfortable as possible. I think they're going to try to bring the pressure a lot. They're going to try to force Gardner Minshew to make those type of mistakes in this one. I think the defensive backs, they're going to try to get as aggressive as possible. And I think that's going to be their strategy against Gardner Minshew. So he has to combat that. He has to be able to hit them deep when they blitz him. Like I said, watch out for him and Trey Tucker. And as long as he can keep the ball out of harm's way and we can run the ball effectively, if we can stop the run, I think the Raiders will have an absolute great opportunity to win this game. Like I said, I think this is a must-win opportunity for the Raiders. You don't want to even risk the possibility of going 0-2 this season. Let's get the first victory of the season, and then you can go into Baltimore with a little bit more relaxed type of mentality, and just more of a mentality where if we win the game, then awesome, we're 2-0, but if we lose it, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Ultimately, I think the Raiders are going to win this one. Harbaugh is a good coach and everything, and there is a possibility that he could be able to turn the Chargers franchise around. I mean, I'll have to see it to believe it, because every single year, the Chargers are these paper champions. Every single year on paper, they're seen to be this great team, and it never really has come to fruition. So ultimately, I'll have to see it to believe it, but I just think with a new offensive coordinator, with a new coach, a new regime, They got rid of their best weapons on the offensive side of the football at the wide receiver position. To me, there's just a lot of moving pieces for the Chargers, and I give the Raiders the edge in that standpoint. Now, on the contrary though, I think when it comes to the overall mindset and the edge, you gotta watch out for the Chargers though. They are coming off of a humiliating loss last season. Last time we faced them on that Thursday night matchup where we put up 63 points on them. So I do think the Chargers are going to have some pride. They're going to have a little chip on their shoulder. They're going to try to get their revenge on that one. But ultimately, I am confident in Antonio Pierce setting the right message and the right attitude for this team before they hit the field on Sunday. And I think the Raiders are going to win this one. I think it's going to be a low-scoring type of game. It might be kind of an ugly, low-scoring, more physical type of game. But ultimately, I think the Raiders come out victorious in this one. I think the Raiders win 20-13, and we start the season off 1-0. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think the keys to victory are in this one? And do you think the Raiders will win this one? Let me know in that comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that's all for you guys in today's video. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.